Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and assorted people of the internet. Welcome to a little program that we like to call the Disney Heroes, our hit radio roleplay here on Pez of the Mind. I am, as always, your co-creator, James Phoenix. Joining me, as always, are the cast members, the best one, Richter Hammer.
Hello.
And the other one, Marcus Shadow.
What's up?
Co-creator Chris the Mole could not be here this week. However, he will be here next week for our finale. Whether he's in or not remains to be seen, but he will definitely be here for the post-show wrap-up that will be taking place immediately following the finale.
He couldn't be here because he's the actual here. He's doing research.
Quite literally. Quite literally, yes. Chris the Mole is on vacation to Walt Disney World.
So in an ironic twist of events, he's over here.
Yep.
What?
Yes, we will see him next week. But in the meantime, it's time for our penultimate episode. We're closing in, folks, and we hope you enjoyed this one. Last time on Disney Heroes, our heroes fought Jafar and Dr. Facilier in the abandoned stunt track of Hollywood Studios. However, the heroes were gotten the better of when their watches were hacked by Tron villain Clue. The three members who were in the field managed to escape from Jafar and Facilier and stumbled their way back into the base, where the remainder of the team is waiting.
Jeff, standing at the main console, spins around as the team emerges from the outside. He looks straight at Noah. Would you mind telling me why the hell Clue is on our screen?
If I knew, I would tell you. He's basically a walking computer program. He probably virused his way in somehow. I did not see that coming. Jafar and Facilier must have been distracting us to get at least some of us to use the watches. Maybe it opened something that let Clue in, I don't know.
The level of power these demons are getting is now reaching alarming levels, dude. I mean, now he actually has Clue's abilities, a demon that can go inside a computer. This isn't good, man.
Can we even beat that? David says, looking exasperated.
Well, we have Tron. That's a start. Well, your watch doesn't work anymore.
Yes and no. I may have an idea. Noah shakes himself as he stands up and walks across the room. We didn't always have the watches. When all this started happening, we had to try some other tech first. Remember, the magic that gives us our forms is within us. The watches just help us channel and control it. They don't necessarily draw it. Theoretically, if I use this, Noah reveals a prototype device, clearly more rudimentary in nature than the watches. It seems to connect to both wrists, while another connects to the head. So, theoretically, this would allow one to tap into the magic and assume a form, at least temporarily. If I were to connect this into the main system in a small protected grid, I should be able to Tron myself and send myself in there, or at least some portion of myself with the light. Maybe I can take him out. It's our only chance.
Jeff brings his right hand up to his chin and strokes it as he looks at the technology.
It's old school. We're using this for a direct tap into the system and the magic to help some of our earlier subjects, myself included, generate our forms.
Do we have, more of those? What are we supposed to do while you're doing that?
Well, I can do this. Noah goes over to the other side of the room at another console and pushes a few buttons. All right. Jeff and Alfred's watches glow slightly.
Whoa!
I've patched you guys into a backup system. I made sure to install something like that after the Frollo incident. I don't know how well it's going to work. It's literally tapping into what's left of the system back in Cinderella Castle. There's enough magic in there to give you your forms, but I don't know for how long. We just barely got the system repaired. There was a lot of damage after that whole situation. But it should be enough for you two to go out and for you two at least to go out and hold Jafar off. He's probably on his way to the Magic Kingdom now. As for you two, he looks at David and Adrian. I'm afraid with your watches incaput right now, there's not much you guys could do. But you can stay here. Keep an eye on the monitors and, well, track how far Clue's infection is going and where Jafar is. Try to feed us information. It's all we have right now. If I can get Clue out of there, your watches should be okay, and we can join the others in the battle in the park.
Okay. Okay. David hurriedly walks over, sits down, looks at the console, and tries to calm himself.
Jeff lowers his hand. Wait, are you telling me that Disney has the technology to actually create Kevin Flynn's Tron technology in the real world?
Technically, it's not in the real world. It's, like I said, the magic is generating it, not the technology. The technology is just helping channel the magic just like the watches do into the forms. In this case, we're just channeling the magic and some portion of me into the computer. Because the computers have the magic running through them, it's difficult to explain the combination of the two, but just trust me, it works.
Jeff turns to Noah and raises an eyebrow. Wait, you're actually gonna Tron yourself into the computer? Are you sure you don't want me at the console?
As much as I would love to have you at the console monitoring my position and maybe knocking down a few of his walls, I can't exactly send Alfred out to fight the second most powerful demon we've seen alone.
Yeah, nah, that wouldn't work, dude. It'd be pretty cool, but I don't think I could pull it off. Not like I'm selling myself short, but Jafar is kind of dangerous, you know.
Unfortunately, you're the only two with working watches, and, well, depending on how long it takes me to stop Clue, Jafar could have taken over the park by then. I don't expect you guys will be able to defeat him alone, but you might at least be able to slow him down.
Jeff turns around and looks at David, who looks quite shaken up, and then looks over at Adrian, who's leaning against the wall, his head hanging. And the genie and Kasim are out of action. This is not going to be good.
I know.
He looks over at Alfred. Come on, kid. It's time to save the world.
Yeah, let's channel the magic.
Just be careful. Remember, you're on the backup system, and it's still a little iffy. Like I said, you should be able to get to your forms, but I don't know how long the system will hold up. Be careful.
We don't know how much of your power is going into that system. You may not have enough to take on Clue.
True. But right now it's our only chance. If I don't, and Jafar gets control of the park, it's over. As they say, desperate times.
Don't worry, guys. It'll work out. It has to.
He's right. One thing that's been the basis of all of this. The power of belief. The power of belief in the villains brought the darkness to life. Belief in the light will stop them. Just always remember this. No matter how bad things got, no matter how dark, in everything we've ever produced, the light wins.
Jeff manages a weak smile and then places his hand on Alfred's head, ruffling his hair. You know, I admire your optimism, kid.
Yeah, 'cause, well, we gotta. So if it doesn't work, then it gets really bad, and that's no fun to think about. So gotta have that optimism. Yeah.
Jeff then turns back around to Noah. Okay, so without our technology, how do we know where the hell they are?
Like I said, Jafar's probably on his way to the Magic Kingdom. We fought him in Hollywood Studios, so depending on how fast... If Jafar himself were doing it, he could just poof over there, but I'd imagine he's going to probably try to spell over the park to take control of it, so that's going to slow him down. He's probably somewhere north of Epcot, but south of the Magic Kingdom. Trust me, just look for the source of the emanating darkness. It shouldn't be too hard to find.
And I'm sure Jafar would totally love to show off, so it probably can't be that hard to find him.
He's right. We noted they were becoming more like their counterparts, and Jafar was always a showman.
He is, but he's also very much a snake in the grass. He likes to show off, but he won't do it unless he shows off right in your back.
Not necessarily true. Remember the finale. Once he had the power and thought he was in control, he went full on egotist.
This is true, but he does not have phenomenal cosmic power, not even close.
He doesn't, but with most of us out of commission, he may not even expect you guys. He may think that Clue took the entire system down.
True.
So you may be able to catch him by surprise, and that could be an advantage.
And maybe he thinks he has the power.
That too.
Well, the genie's going to have to cut him down to size once we get the grid back online, huh? Jeff looks over at David and smiles, giving him a thumbs up.
David, having calmed himself somewhat, gives a weak smile and a thumbs up.
Don't worry, David. I'll watch over your brother. Jeff turns and runs out of the base.
Catch you later, bro. Alfred turns and runs after him.
All right. Noah steps over, then turns back to the two remaining. Noah places two metal bands around his wrist and another around his forehead like a headband. All right. Like I said, I challenged this before, so I should be okay, but... Here, he walks over for a second and presses some buttons. That monitor is connected to these. It should keep an eye on my vitals and my life signs, just in case.
Adrian looks up from the wall. Hey, Noah, I was just thinking. You said that Jeff and Alfred's watches still work because they weren't active at the time? Would that be true for all watches that weren't active at the time?
Technically, yes. It's the watches that were active took the brunt of Clue's attack because the channels were open. Theoretically, it would be only a matter of time before we got into the others, but I think I got those two transferred over in time. Why?
Because there's one other watch we have that hasn't been active in a while.
But without it, but it's bonded. Without its host, it wouldn't be any good.
Well, we wouldn't be able to access its forms, but would we be able to use it as a power source to power another watch?
It's possible, but it would take time and calculations that I just can't do right now.
Fair enough.
As much as I would like to think that we could, some part of Jacob could help us, it's just not feasible at the moment. It would take too much to pull it off, and we just don't have the time. I'm sorry, but it is a good thought.
Adrian nods and looks back down on the ground.
Hey, between thinking like that and Alfred's optimism, we may just pull this off. Noah gives a weak smile and steps back over. All right. You should be able to at least keep track of what's happening with me and Clue on the screens. I don't know if you'll be able to do anything, but at least you'll be able to report into the others. Here goes nothing. Noah steps over to a side of the room and strikes a pose. As he does, the three bands light up. The Tron form appears over Noah slowly, taking its time to weave over his arms and legs before forming the helmet underneath the headband and the arms underneath the wristbands. Okay, I've got the form. Now here we go. Noah reaches over and hits a button on a nearby console. As he does, there is a brief flash of light, and he's gone. As the two look at the screen, they see Noah appear in cyberspace. Well, it's holding up for now. That's a good sign. Looks like the magic is making up for whatever the watch did when it shocked us out there, so I'm feeling a little better, too. One point to the light, I guess. Noah begins looking around. Suddenly he hears a whirring sound. He ducks just in time to avoid a bright yellow disc flying at his head. It flies back and lands in Clue's hand. So, decided to come in and take me on, user. I'll admit, I didn't see that coming. But it is a nice surprise. When I heard the plan, I thought I'd be stuck in here while they had all the fun destroying you. Now I get not only one, but the leader all to myself. Noah stands up. Yeah, but you'll have to catch me first. Noah whips a baton from behind his back, summons a light cycle, and takes off at light speed. Clue sneers angrily. All right, user, we'll play this your way. Clue pulls out a baton of his own and takes off after him on an orange light cycle. Meanwhile, out in the park, red magic is spilling over the park as Jafar seems to be taking control of portions of it. Most of the south already under the well of the magic. The sky has turned red, forming an almost dome over the park.
Jeff looks up. Well, that can't be good.
Well, then we just got to make it better.
Come on, let's head for the source.
Right behind you, dude.
The two follow the source of the magic until they see Jafar. He's levitating in the air, and the magic is pouring out of his staff as he makes his way toward the Magic Kingdom. He looks down. Well, what have we here? 2 more victims? How are your friends doing? I'm sure about as well as you. I'm glad you're here. At least someone can now witness our ultimate victory.
Your ultimate victory. Oh, Jafar. Your overconfidence was always one of your weak points.
Overconfidence, dear boy, no. You see, it's easy to be confident when one holds all the cards.
And Jeff looks over at Alfred and then looks back at Jafar. Well, in that case, it's time for some Deuces Wild. Jeff rotates the watch to the 3rd position and slams it down. It's time to dragon up! Red dragon armor appears over his body as his head morphs a little bit to that of a dragon. Jeff roars into the sky as flames erupt from his mouth.
What? I should have known not to trust that computer virus. That fool couldn't even take all of them out at once. Very well. I suppose I get to do this myself. The magic cuts off from Jafar's staff, seeming to stay in place in the park, but he turns and focuses on the others. He flies at them, blasting a magic energy blast from his staff toward the dragon.
Jeff leaps into the sky and spreads his wings as he takes flight. Alfred, a little help here?
Well, it seems like we got his attention. Plan 1 done. Alfred turns his watch and slams it down. Metallic armor surrounds him, and a visor across his eyes. Wheels appear at his feet, and he is in the form of Gizmo Duck. All right, time to do this.
Really? A technological contraption? Who are you, Mechanicles? This is a joke. Jafar continues blasting energy at the two from his staff.
Whoa! Jeff swoops and dives, avoiding the blasts. Alfred, I need to get in close to do any real damage to him.
All right, dude, got you covered. Alfred rolls over to the side and aims his hands at Jafar and begins shooting out of his hands.
Jafar waves his staff and puts up a magical shield in front of him, deflecting the shots. That won't work today. The battle continues raging in the park. We cut back inside the computer system as the two light cycles race, the orange catching up to the blue as the two are neck and neck. Not bad, user. But this is my domain. You really don't think you stand a chance against me here, do you? Well, let's find out. Noah makes a hard left. Noah speeds up briefly and makes a hard left. Clue's cycle crashes into the wall that Noah left behind him, sending him sprawling to the floor. All right. Enough running. He pulls an orange disc from his back and begins and throws it at Noah, catching it and throwing it again as Noah dodges the shots. That's not good. Noah pulls out his disc and throws it back at Clue. They dodge each other's shots. Noah pulls a second disc out, wielding double discs much like the namesake whose powers he wields. He begins double disking, overwhelming Clue, but Clue holds his own. The battle rages on. Back in the park, Jafar's overconfidence is becoming far too obvious. He continues blasting magic, but his shots are getting more errant.
Jeff's eyes narrows as he whirls around and folds his wings in, dive bombing Jafar. Let's see how your shield handle this, sorcerer. Jeff balls his right hand into a fist and literally dive bomb punches Jafar's shield with the enhanced dragon strength.
The magical shield shatters and Jafar takes the hit, flying onto the ground, going head over heels and landing on his face. Very well. If that's the way you want it, two can play at the magical creature game. Prepare to find yourselves significantly outmatched. As Jafar hisses, a snake-like tongue comes out of his mouth. Red smoke pours over him, and he emerges in the form of a giant cobra.
Jeff lands next to Alfred and looks up. Oh, crap.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
The snake begins lunging at the two, trying to bite them.
Jeff jumps back and takes to the skies once again. He lifts up his left wrist to his mouth. Guys, I hope Noah's almost done there, because we got a giant snake in our face right now and not many ways to take it down.
We cut back inside the computer system and see Noah and Clue dueling it out. Clue uses his disc to block a disc from Noah and send it flying onto the floor, then throws his back. Noah blocks it, but it pushes him backward down to one knee as it reverberates and lands back in Clue's hand. You see, it's as I told you. In this world, I control things. In this world, it is perfect. A white light suddenly appears behind Noah. What is that? Noah looks behind him. A man in white robes with bushy hair and a large beard appears. He smiles and pulls a white disc from behind his back, handing it to Noah. Try mine and shut him up. Noah takes the disc and the light envelops him. All right then. Noah breaks into a run, picking up his other disc, one of his other discs off the floor. He spins around and throws his disc. Clue dodges it, but the light disc is then released by Noah. It flies around. Clue tries to block it by throwing his own disc, but his disc is shattered as the light passes through it. No. Damn you! The light disc hits Clue. He begins derezzing as he falls over a cliff in cyberspace, disintegrating on the way down. Yes! Noah turns back, and the light form disappears. I knew the light would help us. All right. Noah climbs up and begins running toward what appears to be a command center within the computer. He steps inside and sees the screen slowly turning dark. All right, let's see here. He runs to one of the screens that's still light and begins programming in codes. As he does, the light flares and begins pushing back the darkness within the system. Alright, that should do it. Noah runs back out. As he does, he's pulled back into the real world. David, Adrian, how are the watches?
Adrian looks up and then steps away from the wall as he looks down at his watch, seeing nothing, no change. Was it supposed to do something? Suddenly his his watch flares. Whoa.
I took a clue out with a little help. For the time being, we're tapped back in. It's not completely clear, but it's enough that we could go out and help the others. How's the battle going out there?
Well, honestly, it's not going the best it could be, David says, looking back toward the screen. Jafar's in his snake form, so the sooner we get there, the better.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. That snake is nasty. Come on, let's go. The three run out of the base toward the battle. Back in the battle, Jafar is whipping his tail around, trying to wrap up the other two, but they are too fast for him to catch.
Whoa, whoa.
Come now, Jafar. You really think a snake can catch an airborne attack? You're delusional.
I'll show you who's delusional. He continues whipping around, trying to bite and wrap up the two.
As Jafar opens his mouth to try to bite Jeff, Jeff gets an idea and pulls a 180 and flies straight toward Jafar's mouth. Oh yeah? I hope you like spicy food! Jeff unleashes a fiery blast straight down Jafar's gullet.
Jafar is taken completely aback by this move and falls over, the snake flailing on the ground for a moment at the sudden injection of flame into its throat.
Good shot! Alfred
Jafar-
stops and opens up panels and shoots missiles at the downed snake.
The snake takes some missile shots in the underbelly, damaging it.
Jeff
As
looks
the-
down at Alfred and notices he's glowing. Why are you glowing?
Looking back up at him, he notices Jeff is glowing too. The same reason you are, I guess?
Huh? Jeff looks at himself and notices he's glowing as well. Wait a sec. He looks over at his watch and sees its power capacity at maximum. No, it did it. We're back online, Alfred.
Oh,
Yes, Yes, we are, Noah shouts, running up with the other two behind him. Wow, you guys really did a number on that snake. That's impressive. As Noah says this, the snake whips its tail toward him, knocking him down. Okay, spoke too soon.
Noah! Adrian screams. He then looks over at David. Come on, let's teach the sorcerer who's boss, David.
You got it.
Adrian switches to position 3. All right, Jafar, let's dance. He slams the watch down as the light envelops him, revealing the King of Thieves.
Straight right! Jafar is enraged and pulls himself up, attempting to throw himself into a launching bite at Gazim.
Whoa! Adrian
Gazim
tries to jump out of the way, but his foot is caught. Da!
Jafar lands on the ground and spins around, clearly slower than he would normally be due to the injury sustained from the fire and the missiles. Noah pulls himself back to his feet. All right, we gotta stop this guy now. Noah spins his watch and slams it down. The primary version of the Tron form coming over him. Let's see if this penetrates. He runs and throws his disc at Jafar. It bounces off his scales, but cracks a few. Okay, that's not bad.
Adrian looks up. David, he's kind of delusional. Can we get some semi-phenomenal, nearly cosmic power, please, before he crushes me, preferably?
All right. He looks at the watch and slightly smiles. He then turns it and slams it down, enveloped in blue armor in the form of the genie. Time to get cracking.
No, the genie. His power exceeds my own.
Oh, yeah.
Jafar. Smoke envelops the snake, and he turns back into Jafar's human form as Jafar and the genie begin firing magic at each other.
Pew pew, pew pew, pew pew. Hey, hey.
Now released from the snake, Adrian gets up, draws his scimitar, and runs at Jafar, trying to disarm him, removing the staff from the equation. I don't think so, Jafar!
Jafar spins his staff to block the blows from Kasim, but in doing so takes his eye off the genie and is hit by a magical blast. Jafar falls over. We got him on the run. Noah throws a dual disc at Jafar. As he tries to get up, it hits him in the face, sending him sprawling back onto the floor. It flashbacks to Noah, who catches it.
Jeff sees his chance and dives at Jafar, pulling up at the last minute as his tail swings around and wraps around Jafar's staff. Yoink! Jeff takes off with the staff.
No!
Alfred, finish this!
Alfred jets forward and extends his arm and punches Jafar right in the face. Suck on this!
Jafar takes the blow and is knocked into the air. As he falls, Noah runs over and summons the trap, throwing it under him. Jafar falls toward the trap, but just before he hits it, a purple energy forms a block, knocking Jafar aside from the trap. Now, y'all didn't forget that I was out here, did ya? Dr. Facilier appears seemingly from nowhere, his magic over the trap.
David and Alfred both see him and exclaim at the same time, The Arbiter!
Adrian freezes as Jeff hovers in the air, still holding the staff in his tail. Well, desperate times. Jeff flings the staff over to David. Let's see what happens when we combine two phenomenal power sources, shall we?
Oh, a combination. I dare say I like that idea. Facilier channels further magic into the trap. The trap begins to fluctuate. Well, you may have got your powers back, but it looks like Clue did enough damage, didn't he? As he focuses his magic toward the trap, the forms of the other villains can be seen trying to escape.
What?
He's trying a jailbreak!
David, you're our only hope. Use the staff.
You got it. David twirls the staff around and dashes forward and begins to bring it down on the box. Close, says me.
As he does, Jafar jumps in front, grabbing the staff with his hands and trying to keep it up. Now, you will not stop us now! He tries to hold the staff up, but Genie is strong. Noah suddenly has an idea. Jafar! Why are you helping him? He's just going to try to take the power of the villains for himself. Think about it. He let you do all the work and then showed up to claim the prize. He's going to turn on you, just like Hades tried to. Jafar thinks for a second, but his ego gets the better of him. You're right. No! Jafar turns and jumps at Facilier. As he does, the two fall aside. Oh, I dare say that is enough. Everyone whips their heads around and sees Scar standing nearby. He, lightning fast in a pit of darkness, speeds near the other two. You two are going to ruin this entire thing. Actually, Scar, I think they already did, Noah exclaims. He adjusts his watch and the power on the trap increases. Says, I don't think we're going to need it anymore. I've dumped the power from the backup system into the main trap. The energy engulfs the three villains. No, what have you done? Jafar is in a panic. Oh, no, 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 this is not how this is supposed to happen. Dr. Vasilia begins to be pulled in as well. No, no, you two have ruined my plans. No, I won't allow this. Scar is beginning to be pulled in as well. Guys, focus your energy on the trap. The five point their watches toward the trap. As they do, the light grows and pulls the three villains inside, fluctuating for a moment and then sealing. Holy crap.
Jeff lands next to the trap and looks down at it, seeing the blinking lights. He then looks back up at the team. We came, we saw, we kicked their asses.
I guess so. Noah seems completely befuddled by this. That was bizarre.
Yeah. Alfred runs over and him and the genie high five.
I mean, I'm not surprised that the villains would turn on each other. It's in their nature, but that was... I don't know.
Adrian sheaths the scimitar and walks over to David, taking the staff from him. So, what do we do with Jafar's staff?
Museum.
It's of the darkness. We'll have to encase it in the vault with the spirits once we repair the cracks. It should be almost finished, so the trap should hold them long enough. The five turn and begin heading back toward their base. And as they approach the shore of the island, they are surprised by what they see before them. Jacob standing on the dock.
He's awake?
Wow. You got better.
Jacob. The team, pleased to see their comrade, rushes up to him.
How's it going, man? Yeah.
Jacob looks up, and they see a dark energy in his eyes. Forgive me for not jumping for joy. Bad back, you know. He grins evilly. To be concluded. Didn't see that shit coming, did you?
I did not.
Okay, then.
Oh, you're gonna love what happens next week. For the record,
Well,
this entire idea was Krista Mole's. I did not possess his character without permission.
well, on the upside, we do have Jafar's staff. That's got to give us some sort of edge.
Indeed, I didn't expect that to happen. That was an interesting twist.
Well, I figured the staff was the source of his power, so yeah.
It usually is in most incarnations of Jafar, so that was a logical assumption to make. So, that was fun.
That was.
That was fun. Stay tuned next week, everyone, for our finale episode of Disney Heroes, where we bring this to a close. And we will have, immediately following, in a separate video, we will have our wrap-up, where we discuss the whole series, our favorite episodes, favorite moments, least favorite, all that good stuff like that there. And we hope you'll join us for that. Until then, thank you two for joining me as always.
You
are
welcome.
welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, not a problem. And until next week, I'm James Phoenix. Peace.